This is Lucky Drummer by Ed Shaughnessy, and many of you may have watched Johnny Carson on late night TV in the past. I know I did, and he was the house drummer, and he was brilliant. And I've been reading many drum books. I read Fleetwood Mac, I read, which is Mick Fleetwood obviously. I read Kenny Aronoff, I read Liberty DeVito. I'm on a Rush Neil Peart book right now, but this one I just completed and is brilliant. And what I really liked about this book is that he focuses on drums, right? It's not just I played with a band and this is my history, but it was basically from beginning to end. He talked about all of the people he'd play with and how grateful he was to be playing with those people and what was great about those people. And it was a lot of it having to do with the big band and bebop era of drums, which I will suggest if you read this book, you'll need to have your YouTube very handy, because you'll be looking up a lot of guys' performances of different songs and just the performances of that person in general, because a lot of these people you probably won't know by heart, but after listening to them you'll be very impressed. And they always say that older drummers come back to, well, not come back to, but they have a jazz stage as they get older, and I'm toying around with the idea. I don't know if I will do that or not, but I may do a few tracks in the future here of jazz drummers. So he starts with early career, his childhood, his family. He talks about Buddy Rich, the big drum off on Johnny Carson's, which is the best dueling drum solo I ever saw in my life. If you've not looked up Ed Shaughnessy and Buddy Rich drum solo, drum off, you're making a big time error if you're a drummer. But I'm also gonna read you a piece from the outro, which was brilliant. At the end there, he's got his breakdown of his drum sets and stuff. But this really touched me at the end. He goes a lot into his family life and things, but I want to read you this excerpt. I am so grateful to music and to drums. I remember my friend Tony Williams, who we lost way too early, once said during a concert, "You know, I really love these drums. These drums have taken me all over the world and have let me play with some of the greatest people." And he went over and patted his drums. He was so sincere, and I feel just that same way. I just love these drums, and I've always felt I have a debt to my instrument to practice and play well all the time, not just to people, not just for my career or my ego. Look how good the instrument has been to you, so you should be good to it and practice a lot and get to play well and take pride in it. That's what I've tried to do for many years. I'm still trying to do it. It's just a little harder when you're a geezer. I'm still trying, and I still keep plugging. I love you, my drums. I don't just think of these as a tool or an instrument anymore. I am intimately involved with my drum set and all of the different kits that I've played. I love my drums too, and that's what I got out of this book, was the feeling of just being connected to this percussive instrument and the joy that it's brought me my entire life. My daddy brought me home a single bass drum that I beat the tar out of and played like a drum set by clicking the rim, pretending it was a hi-hat, and then hitting the middle of the drum to simulate a bass drum tone and the edge to sound more like a snare. And I was able to simulate a drum set with just one drum on the floor. And then, oh, what a happy day when my dad brought home a Slingerland from the swap meet, a black Slingerland 4-piece. And that really got me going. I was 9 years old. My first drum was 8, and then I had my drum set at 9. I've loved them ever since. I got that feeling of joy and love. And Ed Shaughnessy was just a very nice person. He lost his son early, and then he lost his wife to Alzheimer's. And a lot of this book is very touching. And unfortunately, the year after he got this book published, which was 2012, he passed away in 2013 in his early 80s. But man, this guy did a lot of very neat things, and the stories in here are epic. There's a lot of interesting stories from Whitney Houston's performance on The Tonight Show. Jimi Hendrix, man, that story was great. Ray Charles. A lot of things in here you would not expect. I'm gonna take you out, Ed.